Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back tonight for another National Anthem reaction video tonight here, guys. And this one is going to be quite something else entirely, because we return for the fourth time in a row to the oceanic continent, and we also get the insight because we are traveling all the way to the island nation of Samoa. And when I say this is like, this is sort of like goes a little bit beyond in terms of expectations, because there's quite a lot of expectations accompanying all this. Now, technically, this is more in the North American. I don't technically know whether or not like I can qualify this as here's the thing, is that there is a very definitive split in both, in which part actually belongs to the US. So you've got the American Samoa in here, and of course you got the other nation of Samoa over here. Now, I do technically know that there's still a lot of Polynesian influence that goes on between, basically both sides of Samoa, if you will. But that's nothing compared to, outside of just like everything else that we've explored with this portion of the world, is that just look at that. There's almost like a lot you can just summarize Samoa just in pictures like these. And again, this might be more my own mental speculations, but I just need you to take a look at this. And you've got a sky that goes on forever and stretches to the heavens. You've got crystal blue ocean. You've got palm trees. You've got wildlife spreading in all directions. There's not an ounce of litter or trash anywhere. And if that's anything like that, but also look at the range of like mountain shore and rock pools over here. Almost looks like the remnants of a volcano have utterly laid waste to an almost prehistoric landscape and turned it into a tropical paradise. Just look at that. And again, even if we go through all the pictures, again, beach huts literally only 50 meters away from the beach. And then, of course, you get an entire, basically the remnants of lava overflowing part of an island, and in its place are rock pools, and it almost looks like the skin of a prehistoric beast lying dormant underneath all these beaches and underneath all these little mini forests. And then you have indescribable little lagoons just surrounded by the roots and the shrubbery of growing and things that have been alive for hundreds of years. Then, of course, you get, just like the way they cook like guavas or like mangoes just on coal fires. And again, waterfalls flowing into pools, traditional food, traditional Samoan cuisine. And of course, again, the traditions of the people they have there, from like fire, like people who dance with fire, those who like light up the night sky. And just, again, I kind of want to give you guys what I'm trying to emphasize is this, and this is something that might be possibly alongside the likes of Australia and New Zealand and Fiji as well, is the fact that I think, honest to God in my heart, ladies and gentlemen, the people of Samoa, the Samoans, might be some of the most intriguing and some of the most, what's the right way to put this? I think it's just, I don't know if it's just their surroundings, what they grow up on, about what they know, and the sheer variety of talent, or just the way they do things. But you're talking about some of the most incredible humans perhaps alive today, just almost purely from maybe a physical point of view, but also through a more more heritage. Well, maybe just through more traditions, because again, you get these famous tattoo styles and ideas, and a lot of these are coming from perhaps tribes going for thousands of years, and it's literally you can look at the intricacy, look at the detailing, look how just everything overlaps, and it's pattern after pattern after pattern. And you can get these in just about so many different locations, from the wrists to from your abs all the way down your arms, all over your, perhaps over your belly, over your back, covering almost the entirety of your chest area. And I know there's even parts where it sort of like goes towards like the belly and sort of down below, and it even goes all the way down to the knees and perhaps even further below as well. Because again, this is the sort of thing, again, you get things like tribesmen would get, almost like more high officials would have this sort of garb. And there's, again, it's a history and a tradition that probably goes beyond the sort of things that I can possibly fathom. But again, for maybe the more mainstream sort of, for the more casual observer, or for those who've ever taken interest in things like World Wrestling Entertainment, will be, of course, familiar with the fact that men like Dwayne Johnson, who was raised by, or at least trained by, the Anoa'i family, which is a famous wrestling family from the Samoans, which include the likes of Rikishi, the Wild Samoans, a lot of wrestlers, certainly before my time, but they also include the rest, the famous Umaga, Solo Sikoa, the Usos, which are Rikishi's children, and I know fine well that again Roman Reigns has like a lot of other cousins, one who is sort of try out for the WWE, and one who's been on the indie scene for like many years. But basically, and I know again it's kind of strange to imagine that actually there's sort of a bit of a false idea that goes around, is that if you have Samoan heritage in your blood, then it means that you've probably been raised up on being perhaps one of the most able-bodied and physical specimens alive today. Because, to be honest, there's a lot to be said about how impressive that a Polynesian, or more specifically a Samoan physique is, in the scope of the fact that it is an inherent heritage-inspired way of life. It accompanies the idea of keeping traditions alive and understanding why they are meant to be kept alive and what they are meant to be for. So I don't think it outside of the fact they look really cool from an artistic point of view, there's certainly a lot to be said for the fact that I think it accounts for a lot more than that, and it's not the sort of thing you just have put on your body because you think it was a cool idea at the time. There's a lot more to it than you could probably give it credit for. So yeah, and again for the sake of references, you even get here's Dwayne Johnson here with, I mean, it's all over his arm, and again, Dwayne Johnson is just, and again, bear in mind, this is what it was like back in 2003, 20 years ago, and he was already donning the tattoo just across his ab, across his heart. And again, I will probably go into a lot more detail when I come to the translation, just to go into more of these designs. But there is like a lot to cover, and I wish I had more time on Earth to describe it, but I'm intrigued beyond words. It is a fascinating thing to like really dive into the nooks and crannies of such an ingrained and such a storied history that the Samoans certainly do have. And it goes along perfectly with how beautiful their country is. So if there just so happens to be people of Samoa happen to be watching this right now, you can count on me, because from an outsider's point of view, I think your country looks very beautiful. And with all that being said and done, I think it is just about time. Now, I must be honest, because I actually have no idea what the actual name of Samoa's national anthem is. So, let me just how do I what's it called again? Um, it does it have like is it Ali so I it well okay here it is because its English translation is known as the Banner of Freedom, and it's translated into Ole Fua o la Soloto Oga or Samoa. So like I like the Banner of Freedom, and again I'll have to like really run this past and go through quite a lot of effort just to come across everything because I want to be able to translate all of this, and it's going to require a lot of. But then again, hard work is not even the sort of thing that is even in my noggin right now. It's just something you just sort of do. And with all that being said and done, please rise, ladies and gentlemen, for the national anthem of Samoa. I like it, ladies and gentlemen. It's again short, but I liked it. I think I think again, just like with a lot of things that I've come to sort of like associate with Samoa, from its beautiful tropical climate, the the foundations of its heritage is inscribed on the residents' bodies. The nobleness of so many of Samoa's of Samoans in terms of from a physical stance, they really do have bodies that basically look like they were made out of temples. That's what I can certainly say about that, anyway. And then even just it's not, and is there something of a I know again I sort of like hinted the idea there's something of a theme of like a Christian, like almost like a Christian sort of ideology that sort of like goes through this. And I know it might be from the idea that the Southern Cross is certainly, at least from Australia, Samoa, and New Zealand, all have the Southern Cross on their flags in some capacity. But is it also the fact that they seem to appreciate the idea that there's something I wonder if they take the idea of, again, Jesus dying for our sins and that he died so that we may live. So it is our time to live. It is our time to do right. It is our time to do right for each other and to be the sort of people that we would imagine Jesus Christ would be extraordinarily proud of. It might be one of the very few occasions, ladies and gentlemen, where outside of possibly the papal anthem, that they've actually taken the idea of Catholicism into their, maybe more of their identity, or at least certainly it's meant to be reflective in its national anthem, sort of to this degree. And again, owing to how beautiful their nation is, I would imagine there's probably a lot of things that Samoans would no doubt be extraordinarily grateful for, whether you are from the independent or whether you're from the American-owned side of Samoa. I will say, again, there's going to be a lot of things I'll have to go into when I do the translation video for this, because, again, if I'm going to know anything whatsoever about Samoan national identity, about their tattoo artists, and the real significance behind all of them, then it starts from the top. It starts from in here. So make sure to look for all of that, ladies and gentlemen, because there is a lot to look forward to, and I'm certainly looking forward to it, to say the least. So anyway, I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this reaction video to the Banner of Freedom, the national anthem of Samoa. Please make sure to leave all your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys felt of Samoa's national anthem for yourselves, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys again in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye for now.